Hello, I'm Eric from the Elkridge Branch of the Howard County Library, and today I would like to go over the ABC bike check with you. It's a very simplistic thing. May is actually bike month, and if you're at home and you're able to get outside and you have a bike, I hope you're outside and you're riding it because it's really fun and the weather has been really great. So we'll get right into this. It's really simple. Before I start though, I'd like to point out that you can borrow this stand from us. You don't need it, but you can. You can borrow pumps, such as this one, with a pressure gauge so you know how much air is in your tires. You can borrow multi-tools, which we will use also, and this is just essentially a bunch of Allen keys. All bikes are metric, so you can just use some metric Allen keys. That's not a big deal. So let's get started. A, it's very easy to remember. A is going to be air in your tires. Do you have air in your tires? You can use the aforementioned pump with the pressure gauge, but you can also just feel and say, okay, those feel like they're all right. Every tire on the outside of it right here, it's going to have the recommended pressure in there, usually a range. Probably tires like this could be about 40 to 60 pounds. So just make sure you're somewhere in there and pump them up. You'll know if your tires are flat riding around. So that's A. Excellent segue into B. B is for brakes. This bike has hand brakes. We'll do a close-up too, but more importantly, it has V brakes, which are fairly common on hybrids and older mountain bikes, so it's likely that you have that. The other type of brakes are coaster brakes, which you're going to find on kids' bikes and beach cruisers and things, and those are essentially when you push the pedals backwards, the bike stops. Usually those don't require a lot of maintenance. They usually work pretty well. So let's take a look at this. We'll just get the tires spinning, and that brake appears to work pretty well. So let's do the same in the back here. Appears to stop the bike pretty well. Generally, your brakes are in good shape. Also, if we have a bell, I guess B is also for that. Our bell seems to be working, so that's good. If your thumb can fit in here, if it's squeezing your thumb right there on the handle, that probably means you need to adjust your brakes. And we can do that. So I'll show you. Essentially, this is just a cable, and this is a cable housing, and it goes through there, and you can pull this to tighten the brake up. So we can insert close-up.
Okay, so here's a close-up of the V-brake that I mentioned before. Let me caveat this by saying this is going to be a simple adjustment. There could be a variety of things wrong with your brake, but this is a common problem that a lot of people have. So they're all kind of held by a wire that I'm touching right now.
These are easy to adjust.
All
take a look.
brakes like that, like disc brakes, cantilever brakes. But first we're going to take a look, make sure the brake pad is lined up with the rim and making good contact with the rim when you depress the brake. So that's what's going to stop you.
This housing right here.
And pull off the plastic boot.
Over, pop this out.
Take that out of the quick release. This is also how you get your wheel off, by the way. We're going to take the Allen key. We're going to loosen this screw just a little bit.
What I would say about this is
we're going to pull the wire over just a little bit. Do this incrementally because a little bit makes a big difference. And also, if you pull it too much, you won't be able to get it back into the quick release.
Nice and tight. It's crimping down on there.
So then pull the quick release, pull the brake arm back over, put it back into the quick release, slide the plastic boot back over it, and then looks like it's stopping pretty well there.
So that's A, B, and now into C. C is for chain. So chain is essentially you just want to make sure you get your tire going. And it looks like the chain's working pretty well. On a multi-speed bike such as this, what I would say is it might be a good idea to kind of see if you can go through all your gears. And this appears to go through all those. All right, so that's good. That's important. Double check the brake, and those appear to be working. When you look at your chain too, we just want to make sure that it's taut. There's not a lot of slack. It's not all rusty. If it is all rusty, I'm going to recommend that you put some chain lube on there. The chain lube is, don't put WD-40, please. You can go to a bike shop, or you could probably order it online, pick up some chain lube, and then you're just going to oil individual pieces. We'll insert a close-up. Close-up starting now. So this is your chain here, and if it's all gunky, what you can do is give it a little clean with a little paper towel, a little shop cloth, an old t-shirt, something like that. Go through the whole thing, and then Yes, you can oil every single link, but really what you can do is just start to put some of this on here and go through it. Whoops, I'm losing some of it. Go through an entire revolution, like so. That's about it. There we go. This spacing is fine. If the bike is a single speed bike, like a kid's bike, like a beach cruiser, something like that, it will have what they call the dropouts. It's essentially just where the bolt goes right here. You can just loosen these two bolts and you can pull your tire, and that will make the chain taut. If it's in fact kind of droopy in there, you don't want a droopy chain. So that's A, B, C. So that's just about everything there to get you on the road. The only thing I will add to that is, as I said, these are Allen keys here, and this is a bike-specific tool. Again, you can borrow these from us when we are back, and we will be back, I promise. We'll see you then. But what I would say is check your headset here. Just make sure that's tight. That one's a little loose, so that's good. Check these bolts right here. Make sure those are all pretty tight. And again, you'll know if your handlebars are falling out. But what can happen is that the bars will be going kind of sideways and the wheel will be straight, and so you need to make sure that's all lined up and that everything's tight so that you're safe out there and you can enjoy your ride. So with that said, do the ABC bike check, get out there, take a ride on your bike, have a great time.